What's good, everyone? It's Steve from SnkrTechTalk, back with another video today. For today's video, we will be talking about my current favorite basketball shoes in 2025 so far. So without further ado, let's get to the list. All right, so the first shoe on this list, and keep in mind, some of these shoes are from 2024. To be honest, in 2025, there really hasn't been a ton of shoes that have really stood out to me, but these are the best shoes that are still available that have come out in 2024, 2025, or are on sale now. So without further ado, the first shoe I want to talk about is the Reebok AR2. Now, I've put in several colorways of this model, and I just love the overall performance that you're getting for 100 USD. For the traction, you are getting a herringbone traction pattern. They squeak like something serious, and the overall performance on pretty much any court is awesome. The cushioning is an ETPU style cushioning setup, very similar to Boost on all of the Adidas basketball shoes. It's very plush in the heel, not so much in the forefoot. It's a lot closer to the floor, but I just think it's a great bang for your buck basketball shoe, coming in at 100 USD, like 135 Canadian. And I've just really enjoyed my time in the AR2. So that's the first shoe to make the list for the best basketball shoes in 2025. Next on the list, again, these are not in any particular order, but it's actually two shoes from the brand EQLZ. It's both of their basketball shoes, the 360s and the 24/7. Now, recently, they did come out with the Nate pack, not a typical expectation pack for Nate Robinson. The colorways are stunning, like hands down the best colorway from any brand across the board here in 2025. Like stand out colorways, and the overall performance of that shoe is actually just as amazing. The traction on both of them, the cushioning with the supercritical foam, it's full length in the 24/7. In the 360, it's just in the heel and forefoot, but it's still very plush and comfortable. The materials on both of those shoes with the knit uppers, and especially, like I've already mentioned, that Nate pack with that like green and iridescent kind of goldish upper, they just stand out on the court. Looks wise and performance wise, I can tell you right now, if you pick up either one of those models, you will not be disappointed, because they're absolute performance beasts when it comes to on-court use. And I just really love playing in both of those shoes. So the EQLZ 24/7 and 360s, two great shoes from the brand. Another shoe that was a major standout performer here in 2025 was the Way of Wade 808 Ultras. Now that shoe, like, it just blew me away what you were getting for the price point. And if you're looking for a Kobe alternative with a drop-in midsole, that drop-in midsole in that shoe, that one, and then the Quick 2.0 on the Serious Player Only shoes are hands down the best drop-in midsoles out right now. The materials, you're getting a lot of fuse and kind of like screen and TPU mesh material. The traction's superb, the fit is ultra snug, and I just love what the brand is doing for you as far as giving you awesome performance for a pretty nice price point in the 808 Ultras. So keep those in mind if you're looking for a new hoop shoe that has very plush cushioning and has that modular kind of drop-in midsole setup. That shoe is superb, and I just really love what the brand is doing with that line. Another shoe that has come out like over a year and a half ago now, but it's still an amazing performer. And I've actually recently picked up the All-Star pair, and I've been wearing them a ton, and that is the Book 1. I picked up the purple All-Star pair recently, and I just really love the aesthetics of that shoe with the old school kind of Air Force and Blazer vibes. But you're getting a very nice traction on that model. A herringbone traction is good for indoors, and it's an old school setup, so I do think playing outdoors in that model would be really nice. You get a very large 14mm zoom airbag in the heel, and you get Cushlon up front. The materials on that shoe are nice as well. You're getting a ton of synthetics, leathers, suedes, nubucks. That shoe has just had a ton of different varieties as far as the materials go. And I know it released last year in 2024, but here in 2025, it's still a very viable option. And keep in mind, you can find them on sale right now for like 30 or 40% off very easily in a ton of colorways. So the Nike Book 1 is another one of my favorites that I still love to lace up today. Another hoop shoe that I have hooped in quite a bit is the Way of Wade All City 13s. Now, I really love the lightweight nature of that shoe. It kind of has that moon-esque design at the back of the shoe with that really crazy heel counter. The cushioning on that shoe with the ETPU style foam compound from heel to toe is superb as far as overall comfort and fit. You name it, that shoe has it. And again, it's coming in under a lot of the bigger brands' price points, and it really ticks all the boxes for me, especially in the standout features as far as being lightweight and breathable. That's one of the best shoes on the market right now as far as having that lightweight nature basketball shoe. The cushioning, the support, the traction, you're getting everything within that model, and it's very comfortable and it breaks in super quickly. Even though it has a fuse upper and kind of a mesh and TPU upper, that's one of the shoes that's out there right now that really takes no time to break in, and I love hooping in them here today in 2025. So sound off in the comments if you guys have tried the All City 13s, but it definitely makes the list. Another shoe that if you can pick it up, I would highly recommend it, and it is like over a decade old, and that is the Kobe 6 Protro. Any colorway you can grab. I know the Dodgers came out recently. That orange colorway is dropping later here in summer 2025, but it's a superb basketball shoe. Design-wise, it's one of the best of all time. And performance-wise, it is as well. The traction is great. One thing about that shoe is the fit. It takes quite a bit of time to break in, and it's pretty painful, I will say so myself. But the cushioning's nice with the Cushlon midsole, and I believe you're getting a 4-foot Zoom turbo bag within that model. I would love to see a return of Zoom Air in the heel, but it's not a huge deal because the Cushlon is plush and nice in the heel of that model, and it's just a superb basketball shoe. And that really says something because Nike's designed elements as far as pretty much all of their signature athletes' shoes being low tops nowadays. It's really taking that Kobe DNA, and here we are over 10 years later from the Kobe 6, and it's still an amazing performer. So if you can grab a pair of those for retail or even slightly over retail, I highly recommend it. Another two shoes from serious player only would be the Player One Plus. Again, an absolute staple in my rotation, just with the traction, the materials, the fit, the support, especially on that shoe, and the cushion setup. I believe they're up to 5 drop-in midsoles now. It's a superb shoe here in 2025, whether it's indoors and or outdoors. It's always at the top of my list. I think I'm up to like 30 pairs now of that model. And then the Game 1 Low, the new Blue Scorpion colorway. I've been playing in those the last couple of days. An absolute banger performer. You're getting silent but deadly traction. The cushioning with the Quick 2.0 supercritical foam drop-in midsole is superb. Super comfortable underfoot. The materials, and that's hands down my lightest basketball shoe right now. In a US size 11, they're coming in at 11.5 ounces. So I think the brand absolutely knocked it out of the park as far as the overall performance goes on the serious player only Game 1 Low. Another basketball shoe that is a great performer is the 361 BioSpeed BB. I do have the mismatched pink and blue pair. Now that shoe has some of the craziest reflection and bounce back as far as the carbon plate that's infused in the bottom of that shoe. It just has this crazy propelling feeling when you have those on foot. So like I mentioned, they have that carbon plate. They have a very aggressive traction pattern on that shoe. You get a full-length ETPU style foam compound on that model, and you also have a screen mesh material with some raw materials on the upper that just fit and feel very nicely on foot. So 361 is doing some really great things with the BioSpeed BB, and that leads me into my next shoe. I have not tried the low tops yet. A ton of people are telling me I need to try them, but the Joker ones, I really enjoyed my time in the purple Joker colorway. That shoe has some really cool materials as far as the leather overlays and such. It kind of gives you that old school vibe. The cushioning setup with that ETPU style foam in the heel and forefoot are very soft and plush. And that shoe is deceivingly very lightweight, and I just enjoyed my time in the 361 Joker 1. I think the brand has done a fantastic job across the board on a ton of their basketball shoes. So keep it up, 361. The Joker 1 makes it to my top list of 2025 so far. And last but not least, I know it did release in 2024, but you can get the shoe for like 50 and or 60% off, and that is the Air Jordan 39s. Now, I know I'm not a huge fan of the stability from side to side, just with the midsole being just a little bit tippy, but the overall comfort underfoot with that shoe is like out of this world, with the full-length Zoom Air embedded within that Zoom X midsole. If you're looking for underfoot comfort, look no further, because that shoe is absolutely ridiculous. It has some pretty nice materials on the upper. The design I'm not a huge fan of, but the performance is very nice, minus that little bit of a tippy feeling. The traction's really good too on that model, so if you can find a pair of those on deep discount, I would highly recommend it. And the Air Jordan 40 should be coming out shortly in the next few months, and they actually changed the cushioning setup just a little bit. Instead of having the Zoom airbag embedded within the Zoom X, you are actually getting Zoom Strobel full length at the top of the shoe with Zoom X, and I believe they've firmed up the midsole just a little bit and added a shank plate in that Jordan 40. So keep it locked here in 2025 for when that releases. But that's gonna round up my favorite shoes in 2025 so far. There's probably a couple models that I did miss, and I will throw maybe an on-foot portion at the end of the video of me having the ones that I may have missed that some of you guys may enjoy on foot. But there's just so many shoes to test and put content out about. But for me personally, those are my favorite shoes to hoop in currently here in 2025. But like I said, that's gonna do it for today's video. As always, if you guys could like, comment, and subscribe, that definitely helps the channel a ton. And check out my Instagram over at SnkrTechTalk, as it is an extension of my YouTube channel with all my pickups, basketball footage, and nostalgia as a whole. As always, thanks for watching today's video, and until next time, peace.